These 3 ways could ruin your performance max. Have you ever implemented changes to improve your PMax campaigns only to see performance decline? It's a common frustration. Based on my experience auditing numerous Google Ads and Merchant Center accounts, I'll share the top 3 mistakes that can lead to these unintended consequences. If you're running PMax campaigns focusing only on shopping ads, this is the video to bookmark, and make sure you avoid these top mistakes that others make so you don't waste your ad spend. Hi everyone, I'm Clarice Lin, the ROI Doctor. I help Shopify store owners like you double their revenue with profitable Google Ads. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Want to check if your Google Ads are already sending the right kind of shoppers to your store? I have a free resource for you. The Google Ads Pulse Check is a 9-point diagnostics checklist that helps you see if your ads are attracting the most likely buyers. Head over to claricelin.com to download it. There's also a direct link in the description below and pinned in the comments. Without further ado, let's get started. Mistake number 1, the profitability trap. Raising target ROAS, return on ad spend, to improve campaign performance. If you're struggling to hit your Google Shopping or PMax ROAS targets, you might be stuck in the profitability trap. This is what happens. Your campaign has been performing very well and you want to get a higher return on your ad spend. So you adjusted your target ROAS to a higher number. Instead of seeing more returns, you see a drop in conversions. Let me explain what's happening here. What is target ROAS exactly? Target ROAS, which is return on ad spend, is a bidding strategy that helps you optimize your campaign for profitability. It essentially tells Google the ideal amount of revenue you want to generate for every dollar spent on your ads. While aiming for high profitability is tempting, increasing your target ROAS too aggressively can backfire. Imagine your campaign is a well-oiled machine, generating a healthy return of $1.50 for every $1 spent, which is 150% ROAS. Raising the target to 300% is like asking the machine to suddenly produce double the output with no adjustments. It can lead to a breakdown. In the context of Google Ads, a drastically increased ROAS number can restrict the number of impressions your ads receive. This happens because you're essentially telling Google you're only willing to pay for clicks with a higher chance of converting at your target profitability level. This often translates to needing to raise your bids to compete in auctions. If your bids aren't high enough compared to others, or your ad isn't deemed relevant for specific searches given the high ROAS target, you might see a significant drop in impressions. On top of that, there might be searches where users aren't ready to convert at a rate that meets your high target ROAS. Google might decide your ad isn't a good fit for these auctions, further restricting impressions. The consequences of fewer impressions is that fewer people see your ad, potentially leading to fewer clicks and conversions. And this leads to a further domino effect. Google prioritizes campaigns that are likely to meet their target ROAS. If you consistently miss your target, your ads might be shown less often, leading to fewer clicks and potentially fewer conversions. Without consistent target achievement, it can be difficult to scale your campaigns effectively. You might see stagnant results, limiting your ability to reach new customers. Here's how to get back on track. Revert to a winning ROAS. If you're not hitting your target, adjust it back to the level where your campaign was performing well previously. Give your campaigns time to stabilize and regain momentum. Another solution for you is to analyze your performance by asset groups in your PMax. Dig deeper into your data and analyze performance on an asset group level. Identify which groups are exceeding or falling short of your target ROAS. For those that are falling short of the target, you might want to exclude those groups and put them into a new campaign with a lower ROAS. Those that are exceeding your target ROAS, keep them in the existing campaign. Another option to look into is to segment your products for profitability. Based on your analysis by product, consider creating separate campaigns for products with high and low ROAS. This allows you to optimize bids and strategies for each group to maximize profitability. Now that we have covered what you can do and alternative strategies to resume your winning ROAS, let's talk about mistake number 2. Doubling your ad budget too quickly without product optimization. Imagine your PMax is performing well at a set budget. You think, I want more sales. You double the budget and wait for a surge in conversions. After a few days, you see an increase in clicks, but the conversion rate plummets. Why? Well, when the campaign was performing well, Google had identified a group of high potential customers to show your ads to. There was a predictable click-through rate and a high probability of conversions from those clicks. Here's an analogy to better explain what I just said. Imagine a store with a steady stream of customers. Doubling sales overnight would be difficult without attracting more people. Similarly, with a larger budget, Google needs to find new potential customers. After you raise your budget, before conversions pick up, there is an initial learning phase, which will lead to more clicks from unqualified customers, meaning getting clicks from people whom Google does not know how likely they will buy from your store. They might or might not buy straight away, or sometimes later. Google will only know if they are the right people after they buy. That's why you need to wait during this initial learning phase. During this time, even though you are not making any changes, Google's algorithm is doing a lot of work in the back end. With your new budget instructions, Google needs to gather new data on how users interact with your ads at the higher spending level. This includes factors like click-through rate, conversion rate, and the types of users who are clicking. It takes time to collect enough data points to draw statistically significant conclusions. We also need to consider auction dynamics. Google uses an auction system to determine which ads appear for a given search. With a higher budget, your bids might need to be adjusted to compete effectively. The system needs time to evaluate how your increased bids affect your ranking positions in auctions and how that translates to user clicks and conversions. And while all of this data is being collected, then Google's algorithm goes through an algorithm recalibration. Google utilizes complex algorithms to optimize your campaign performance at this higher budget level. You might have realized by now, after you increase your budget, there are lots of things happening on the Google back end. And eventually, Google's algorithm needs to adapt to the new spending level and user behavior. And this involves fine-tuning factors like bidding strategies and targeting parameters to ensure you reach the right audience while maximizing your return on ad spend. During this learning phase, if you increase the budget again, you will disrupt Google's collection of data. This leads to Google having to start the data collection process again. So I reiterate, make no further changes to the budget during this learning phase. You might ask, how long does this initial learning phase last for? A general estimate is between 5 to 14 days for Google to adapt to a significant budget increase. Once you see performance picking up again, the conversions are climbing back up again, and conversion rates resume the previous high levels, that means the campaign has adjusted to the new budget. To help Google quickly find new audiences with a budget increase, remember to optimize your product feed and landing pages. Here are some ways to optimize your product feed and landing pages for the new audience Google finds with a budget increase. Optimize your product feed with compelling titles and descriptions, using clear, concise titles with relevant keywords and highlighting product benefits in the description. If you need more specific examples of title optimization, check out one of my in-depth videos, How to Optimize Product Titles That Gets You More Clicks and Conversions, link in the top right-hand corner of the screen. Another optimization you can do is to display high-quality images. Showcase products from multiple angles with clear backgrounds. The more pictures you have, the better it helps your shoppers to gauge and visualize the quality of your products. You can also A/B test your product image to find out if you can further improve your click-through rate from the ads. Fill out all possible attributes and make sure they are accurate. Ensure product information like size, color, material, weight, etc. are accurate and complete. Optimizing your landing page by matching user intent. Clearly communicate what the users will find on the page and ensure it aligns with the products being advertised. Make sure the first 1 to 3 lines of your product description gets your shoppers hooked in. One thing for more. Tap into your Google Analytics report to find out how long shoppers are staying on the store after coming from Google Ads. This gives you a clearer idea of each individual product ad's performance and whether you're getting the right clicks to your store. For more details on how to know if you're getting the right clicks, check out my other video, How to Know If You're Getting the Right Clicks from Google Ads, link in the top right-hand corner of the screen. To ensure that you don't experience the frustration of seeing a spike in clicks that don't turn into sales, here is my recommended approach. Instead of doubling the budget all at once, consider these strategies. Gradual increase. Start with a smaller budget bumps, like 10 to 20%, and monitor performance closely. Make this one budget change and wait for 5 to 14 days to assess if the campaign has adapted to the new budget. If it has, meaning that conversions are increasing and the conversion rate is the same as before, Then you can go on to make the next budget adjustment. Remember to focus on optimization as well before you increase the budget. You can optimize your product feed and landing pages to improve efficiency, as per my recommendations earlier. You can also make audience targeting adjustments, refining your target audience to reach users with a higher likelihood to convert. This can mean excluding asset groups that are not performing as well, or removing products that are not converting. In this way, the increase in ad budget will be allocated to the asset groups that are most profitable, and also to the products that are driving the conversions. By taking these steps, you can introduce a larger budget while minimizing the risk of unqualified clicks. And of course, maximizing the chances of reaching high-value customers. We've talked about mistake number 1, which was raising the target ROAS, hoping to improve the campaign performance, but leading to a decline in performance instead. And we've also addressed what happens when you double your budget really quickly without optimization. Now let's go on to mistake number 3. This is what I like to call it: watering the weeds, boosting budgets without prioritizing performance. Imagine you have a flourishing vegetable garden with some plants thriving and others struggling. The struggling plants, like weeds, might even be using valuable resources without producing any results. Suddenly, you decide to double the amount of water for your vegetable garden. While the healthy plants might benefit slightly, the weeds will likely thrive and take over even more space, further choking out the good performers. The same principles applies to Google Ads budgets and asset groups. Performance Max campaigns allow you to create multiple asset groups, each showcasing your products in different ways. However, not all groups perform equally. Some might generate clicks and conversions consistently, while others might falter. Why is this important to know? Unlike a garden hose, you can't directly control how Google allocates your increased budget across the asset groups. The system relies on data to determine where to spend your money. Here's where the problem arises. If you boost your budgets without analyzing individual assets group performance, Google might allocate some of that extra cash to the underperforming groups. These groups could be watering down your overall results, using valuable budgets without delivering the desired conversions. What's the solution? Well, prioritize the performance before you increase the budget. The key to maximizing your return on ad spend is to analyze individual asset groups' performance before raising your budget. Look at metrics like clicks, conversions, and cost per conversion. Identify the high performance, the star vegetables of your campaigns. Here's what you can do. Exclude those low performance. If certain asset groups consistently underdeliver, consider pausing or excluding them altogether. Focus your budget on the winners. By analyzing performance data from the asset group performance, you can strategically allocate the increased budget to the asset groups generating the most conversions. Alternatively, you can also consider separate campaigns. Leave the well-performing asset groups in the existing campaign where you plan to raise the budget. And then you go on to create a new dedicated campaign for the asset groups that are not performing as well. And perhaps allocate a smaller budget while figuring out how you can improve that new campaign. By taking these steps, you can ensure your budget's increase acts like fertilizer, nourishing the high-performing asset groups and ultimately driving more sales for your business. If you're struggling with unpredictable Performance Max campaign, I can help. I've helped Shopify stores achieve over 500% return on ad spend with PMax campaigns. If you want to achieve similar results, get in touch to find out more. My contact details can be found in the description and pinned comment. Alternatively, head directly to claricelyn.com. If you found this video useful, do remember to give me a like. Let YouTube know. I would also appreciate your support. Let me know in the comments below if you have any questions about PMax. And do subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss future videos on doubling your store revenue and traffic with profitable Google Ads. I'm Claricelyn, the RI Doctor, signing off. Till the next video, stay profitable.